separated by addition and subtraction.
Justin said yes.
I did give him the homework? Thank goodness. Unless he's lying. But I don't know why he would lie about that.
So you're saying he thinks you're lying.
No, I don't. I said I don't know why he would lie about that. So I don't know why I think he's lying.
It's already done. Text it out.
You guys are the worst sometimes about this. I'm going to misconstrue your words completely and tell this person this. I just said I don't think he would lie about
It's
that.
too late now.
He would lie though.
It's already on the internet.
First term, shh. Second term. This is the first term in the second term. So do you see how the separation of addition and subtraction makes it a binomial, the two terms? So a trinomial, tri is the prefix there. Tri means three. I'm going to say this right this time because I can't obviously think straight. So a tricycle when you're learning to, but I'm confused about that because when you have training wheels on there,
That's 4.
there's 4 wheels, right? It's not really a tricycle then.
It's not forcicle. Popsicle.
What do they call that? Just training wheels?
Why is it called a popsicle?
Two little wheels would make a one.
Maybe. I don't know. I know there's little tricycles that have 3 wheels, but when you just have the training wheels on, it still technically has 4 wheels. Moving on. So a tricycle is a polynomial with 3 terms separated by addition and subtraction. I don't know.
A quad's like a type of four.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wouldn't a little tricycle be a quad?
I don't know.
Non-motorized.
Maybe they don't even call training wheels a tricycle though. Maybe it's just I have training wheels on my bike. All right. So you have 3 terms. In this one here, your first term is this one, your second term, and your third term. First, second, and third. Do you guys see that? That's why it's a trinomial. It has those 3 terms.
Why is it called a popsicle? Is there tricycles? Bicycle?
A monomial means 1 term. And that means there's no addition or subtraction. So there's no add and subtract. That means it's a monomial. So you'll notice this only has 1 term. These are all monomials because they only have 1 term. There's no addition or subtraction.
What's calling him 16 terms?
If it has more than 3 terms, if it has, did he lie to me?
He said,
What'd he say?
I said she thinks you're lying. He said about, and I just said about the homework.
I just have so much homework still. I feel like I didn't do it. All right, so if it has more than 3 terms, it is just considered a polynomial. That is its classification. So what does it mean to be in standard form? A standard form polynomial is written in standard form when the terms are listed from highest degree to lowest degree. What that means is, which is also known as descending order, is biggest exponent to smallest exponent.
Did you find a blue iPhone?
Did I give you guys homework?
Yeah.
Yes, Dad. Thank you. Did I find a blue iPhone cord? Like as in a charger or just the cord?
It had those on it, yeah.
Do you guys see a blue iPhone cord somewhere in here? Around you guys? Because that's where Jack sits. Do you see it anywhere? If I see something, Jack, I'll just hold on to it and I'll give it to you on Tuesday. But I haven't seen anything. All right. Biggest exponent to smallest exponent. That typically the smallest exponent means there's no exponent at all on it. All right. Flip to the next page. Yes.
What do you think that Justin got a lower score on the quiz? On the quiz that you were standing?
That's not a quiz. That was a test.
Test? Justin got a lower score than me.
We're not talking about that. Do we have questions on, get your hood off, please. Take your headphones out if they're in. Okay, just making sure you weren't hiding them. All right, so do we have questions on this first page? Gabe, hood off just in case so I can see your ears. Other ear too.
I don't have my phone with me.
Look at, well, how am I supposed to know that? All right, so what is a degree? A degree is the biggest exponent. The degree is the biggest exponent. Thank you. You can just leave it right there. So leading coefficient is what that should say. The leading coefficient is the number in front of the term with the highest exponent. I really need to get a new stylus. That one has been gone for a long time. It died a long time ago. So find the degree and leading coefficient of each and classify the polynomial by the number of terms. Rewrite in standard form if necessary, because you're always supposed to write it in standard form. So the first thing here is number 1 in standard form? Is it highest exponent to smallest exponent? Yes, this has an exponent of 1, and this one has no exponent. So is that least to greatest? He did, I think. I'm not really sure, though. So, the degree, what is my biggest exponent, Emil? What is my biggest exponent in this statement here?
1.
Yeah, an exponent of 1. So, our degree is 1. What is my leading coefficient? What is the number in front of the highest exponent? Kobe. What is the number in front of the term with the highest exponent? So the highest exponent is 0. What did we say the degree was? So what's the number in front of that? -5. How many terms does this one have? 2, so this is a? Binomial.
That's the one.
All right. Yes. Just the highest, the biggest exponent number. That's what degree means. So the highest number exponent. So the 2 doesn't have a variable, so the exponent doesn't, there's no exponent on that, so it can't have the highest exponent at that moment. Okay, what is this one? Is this one in standard form? Is it biggest exponent to smallest exponent?
Yes. Wait,
No, what is my biggest exponent? 2, so this should be first, and it has a positive in front, so I start with x squared. What is the next highest exponent? -5x to the first, right? So that becomes minus 5x to the first because there's a negative sign. Why did I write it up there? And because there's a negative in front of it, that's subtraction. And since the 3 has no exponent on it, that is my smallest exponent. So that is that in standard form. So look at that and see if you have questions on writing it in standard form, because that's different. My last hour had a few questions about it, so just making sure you're okay. Kobe?
Yeah, can you turn on the fan again? It's hot.
The degree is 2. Yeah, just one second. So the degree is what, Kobe? 2, because the highest exponent is a 2. The leading coefficient, Cameron, is? There is a 1 in front of it, even though it's not there. So our leading coefficient is 1. And Devin, how would we classify this? It has 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. Very good. If there's nothing in front of the term, it has a 1. Okay, we're going to do 3 and 6 together because they're very similar. So we're going to do those side by side. Are those in standard form for 3 and 6? There's 1 term. So is that in standard form? Can we move anything around? No, there's nothing to move around. What is the degree of number 3? What's the biggest exponent in number 3? 1, because there's only 1 term.
Monomial.
What is the degree of number 6 if it's just negative 11? If nothing is there, what number do we use? What does nothing mean? 0. What is my leading coefficient of number 3? Negative 2. What is my leading coefficient of number 6? Somebody said it. Negative 11. What are these ones classified as? These are both monomials. Well, we have to do all of those things, so yeah. It tells you to do everything in the directions. So number 5 is what we're going to do last, and then we're going to move on. We'll skip number 4. It's okay. The leading coefficient is just a fraction. That's what that means. It's okay. So what is this one in standard form? What should our first term be?
I can't see it.
It's
It is on your paper.
On your paper,
Thank you, guys. All right. What is the next term? Negative 2x to the 5th power, always taking that sign in front. What is the next one? 8. And then finally, and notice, why did I put an addition sign here? Because it's a positive number. Good. What is my degree, Nick, of this one? What is my highest exponent? 7. Delia, what is my leading coefficient? What did you say? Be careful. And it has more than 3 terms. What did we say, Dijonay, if it has more than 3 terms? What did I say on the last page? What did you say? This one? If it has more than enough, all the terms, we could just call it a... This one. Yep. Polynomial. Guys, if it has more than 3 terms, it just means a polynomial, and polynomial just means many.
Why is negative 3 the leading coefficient?
Because it's the term in front of the highest exponent. So the highest exponent is 7. The coefficient that's in front of that is your leading coefficient. So negative 3, because if you look at it as if it's in standard form, Kobe, so you don't look at the original problem. It has to be in standard form. This is the number that is first in standard form. Okay? So that's another way to think about it.
Whatever number is the B, it's going to be the coefficient because it's going to be the
Number that's in front of that one. Yep.
Wait, so does it only have like a degree or an exponent if it has variables?
What'd you say?
Is it only gonna have an exponent if it has a variable? Like,
Well, technically, this has an exponent of 0. It does have an exponent. It's just not written there because anything to the 0 power is 1.
so then why does it have 0?
Because it's x to the 0 power, so the exponent is 0.
But why does negative 2 exist?
Yeah, because remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. All right, so let's talk about adding like terms now. A like term means it has the same base and same exponent. So this is the base, and this is the exponent. I just made up something so that I could tell you what a base and an exponent were. So you knew which one I was referring to when I say that? So, it's because it's freezing out today. It's not 70 degrees out today. Okay, in here, but I'm talking about the outdoors right now. Yeah. All right, Nyland, give me some like terms.
The alphabet.
Nyland, what are some of my like terms in example 1?
2x.
And? Yes, so those are like terms. Notice, what is this separated by? Addition. You need to be aware of that because when we start talking about multiplication on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, you guys are going to need to be able to decipher what to do in both of those cases. Okay, so it's super important you're seeing that. Jordan, give me another set of like terms. So the poor 2 does not have a friend to be with. So I'm going to stack my terms so that like terms are added together. I'm going to leave a space in between those two. Why did I just leave a space there? Is there a number that's in between those two? That is a like term with negative 2x? Is there a like term with this one? No, so that's why I left the space, because those are not like, it doesn't have a like term to add with, so it just gets a space between. So we are counting the number of x squareds. When you add, do you add the exponents?
No.
No. 2 plus 3 is?
5.
So that is 5x to the second. We have a total of 5x squareds. What do you think we do with that negative 2x?
Just drag it down. No, you keep it.
You just drop it down. It doesn't have anything to move with. What is 5 plus 6?
Oh my, I have to do work for that.
So some of you guys will have to show less work than others. I'm doing it this way so you can see what is lined up. Okay? And as you get good at it, you may not have to even do this kind of a thing. Yeah. Which one? These two? Because a like term means it has the same base and the same exponent. They have the same base, but do they have the same exponent? That's why. Okay. Next one says subtracting like terms. Guys, over there, stop talking. Subtracting like terms means that you need to change the signs of the parenthesis to the right by distributing the negative. This isn't going to help you. This is not paying attention. So you're going to change the signs of the parenthesis to the right by distributing the negative. When you distribute it, it's going to change the sign to addition. So, I'm distributing a negative. A negative and a positive is a, I'm going to show you why in a second. A negative and a positive is a negative and a negative is a positive and a negative is a. Okay, so when you were kids and you first learned subtracting negative numbers like 2 minus 5, did any of your teachers show you this? A plus a negative instead? Have you seen that before? That's essentially what we're doing.
That's just
We're throwing the addition sign in front of all of these and giving the negative to everything else. Instead of it being one number that it's giving this negative to, because this is only one piece here, do you see how there's the parenthesis around? We have to give it to all of them. So we change it. We basically are putting the negative here and pushing that negative to everything here.
So I did it right. That just confused me.
Do you guys understand that? Do you see how that's related to that? Does that make it make a little bit more sense? Huh? What is happening over there? Are you paying attention or no?
Yeah, I am. You just reminded me of Patrick. Whenever he went like,
okay, guys. So now we can add these two things. Notice I changed the signs of these ones, so these signs were changed here. So I have 5x squared minus or plus a negative 2x squared, which is
3x.
to the. I have 3x plus 4x, which is, and I have negative 4 plus negative 1, which is.
8 5.
Okay, look at that and see what questions you have for me. I tried to explain it like by bringing it back to older terms that you learned it when you first got it in middle school, I think. But if it doesn't make sense, please let me know. Okay, so is the next one addition or subtraction? Do we have to distribute an addition sign? No, additions is if you distribute a positive 1, will it change anything? No. And notice, have all of our answers been in standard form so far, least to greatest? Yeah, your answers all need to be in standard form. So what are my like terms here since we're doing addition, Alex? Do we have any other like terms? No, these two don't have your like pieces. They're by themselves. Okay, so we are going to line those up. So I have negative 4x squared plus x. Where does 5x line up with? Under the x. Where does negative 2 go underneath this one? No, it doesn't have something to line up with, so it's just on the end here. Now we can add these together. Negative 4x squared plus nothing is still... There's a 1 in front of this x, so 1x plus 5x is... And then we just drop down the negative 2. Is that in standard form? We're going to skip a problem or two in a second here. I just need to get through. We're going to try to do 2 more together and then... Okay, don't forget, what is our sign here? A negative. What do we do with that negative? We change it, we push it to everything else, we change it to addition. So x squared becomes? Negative 5x becomes? Negative 5 becomes? Good. Trin, give me some like terms. But it would be negative x to the second round, right? Gotta be careful. Grace, give me some more like terms. 4x and positive 5x. Good. Kobe.
5 and negative 2.
So we line up our like pieces. So what's 3x squared plus negative x squared, Emil?
2x squared.
And Emil, 4x plus 5x is? And negative 2 plus 5, Emil? Good. Is that in standard form? Biggest exponent to smallest exponent. I didn't know what you were saying. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. It wasn't like to you. I was trying to... Is this one where we have to distribute or no? Yes, because it's a negative. Which means that this changes to a positive. 2x squared becomes? And positive 3x becomes? Negative. And then we line them up. I guess I could have circled the like terms for you. Negative x squared plus negative 2x squared is 7x plus negative 3x is... Okay, we're going to move on to that word problem, and then we're going to be done. Questions there? Are we doing okay with this stuff? No? Do you need help?
Something.
What's wrong?
What do you mean by like change these to a negative or whatnot?
So, when I don't know if you wrote it on the top of your paper when I did that. No, you didn't.
Change the signs to distribute.
No, like what I was showing up here. Do you see how I just kind of essentially pushed the problem over and made it addition? See how I just pushed the negative over? So let's kind of act like we're pushing the negative over. So I'm pushing that negative over, so it has to be given here. But it has to give them to everything. A negative and a negative is a
Positive.
and I push the negative over to this one too, so that becomes
Positive.
so that's basically what I'm saying. Does that make a little bit more sense? Okay. All right. So, Josie has built a triangular sand pit in her backyard. The sides are 6x squared minus 2x. I missed one, didn't I? 5x plus 7 and x squared plus 3x minus 2. Find the perimeter. What does perimeter mean?
Oh no, not the perimeter.
Add up all the sides. So I do 5x plus 7 plus 6x squared minus 2. X, yeah, I almost forgot the x. Plus x squared plus 3x minus 2. Like terms. Good. Okay, I'm not going to line them up this time. I'm just going to add the like terms, and we're going to start with the x squared. So 6x squared plus 1x squared is... What's wrong? Okay, 6x squared plus 1x squared is... 5x minus 2x is... Plus 3x is... 7 minus 2 is... And there you go.